Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Power Hour. I'm Chris Peters, along with my co-host Kareem Mays, joining me tonight. And tonight we have Carl Davis, Rick and Cheryl Reiser, and Timothy Henderson. And tonight we are going to talk about enhancing lives through personal development. So, guys, take it away, please. Somebody start us off.
I can give it a go. I think personal development for me started when I was a young kid with just learning about life and learning what I was really passionate about and getting away from influences that didn't serve me. And as I got older, I ran into my bro Chris and I started doing Pay Me What I'm Worth. I really figured out what my life's goal is to unite the world's entrepreneurs, and that's what we're doing here. So that's my input. You're still muted, Chris.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, for myself, it started back when I first joined per a program that I was doing with you. We all know what program I'm talking about. And it really started to open me up to who I was and who I wanted to become as an entrepreneur, as a personal development coach, and a life coach. And it's been a long journey, and I've learned a lot through this program that I was in. But now I'm doing something totally different now, and I'm really having a lot of fun with it. And this is one of the things I'm doing, the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Also doing Pay Me What I'm Worth has been very rewarding for me, and digging those layers away, stripping away all the old programming and all the negative self-limiting beliefs that I had. It's really helped me to aspire to something better. And I'm really proud of what I'm doing now, and it feels good to come on this live Google broadcast for everybody, for our audience, and to have all you panelists with us here tonight. This is what I want to do. I want to touch people's lives, I want to change lives, and I want to help everybody grow into the best person they can be, because after all, at the end of the day, that's what really matters, is whose life you made a difference in, and what you did throughout the day to help those people. Rick and Cheryl, I'm anxious to hear from you guys. How are you tonight?
Great.
We're doing good.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Hi, Cindy. We got Cindy Ashline joining us from New York as well. So, Rick and Cheryl, what have you guys? What's your experience been like with personal development and Pay Me What I'm Worth?
Well, I know that Rick's done personal development pretty much all of his life, and I got into some personal development probably back in the mid-1980s. Before that, I was super negative and everything that I looked at was negative. I just judged everything very negatively, and I had a boss that recognized this, and he sent me to a personal development seminar and everything, which started me on the journey, and it made me a much more positive person and everything. Over the years, I've worked on different things in different ways, which has always, every time I've done any personal development, it's always really added to my life in a positive way. And now that we're in the class that we're in, it's really opened me up to my worth, and I'm able to see a lot more ways that I can benefit from who I am. Sir?
I saw. Like, hey, Bill.
Hi,
Hey,
Bill.
how you doing?
Got a lot. Hey, Bill. How's it going, Bill?
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. You got a lot of
Yeah.
background noise there right now, buddy. So I'm just gonna mute you for now. You're gonna be home soon, right?
Yep, I'm on the bus right now.
Okay. Okay. Well,
So
I'm
just
gonna
mute me out.
Yeah, I'll mute you for now, and then when you, yeah, okay. Sorry. Okay. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Rick, go ahead. You were about to talk there.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad to see that Bill's joined us also. He's on the subway or something. Oh,
He's
we're
going
sort of
home on the
message-
bus from work.
Oh, he's home on the bus. Cool.
Look at how the trooper he is, though. He's here. That's all that matters, man. Thank you, Bill. Right on. Good to see him again. Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
My parents were real into us developing as individuals, and so they got us into music real early, like piano lessons, and I was in the drum and bugle corps and Cub Scouts and all stuff like that, and so we learned discipline at a young age, or what it took to progress in something, like how to get better at something. And when you get to a certain point, almost at anything, then there comes a time where, like, the technical aspects of it aren't going to make you that much better. So you have to develop your heart, and that's what personal development is to me. And I had several martial arts teachers along the way that sort of stressed personal development, because once you get to a level of martial arts, I mean, you don't want to go around fighting people because you're going to hurt someone. And so they won't teach you if you're an aggressive, testosterone individual. They won't teach you advanced things.
Yes.
So that's personal development too.
Right
I
on.
like that. I love that. You're like Mr. Miyagi, like wax on, wax off, wax off. Freddie just messaged me. He'll be on soon.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay, I'm interested to hear Cindy Ashline. If you're trying to speak, my friend, you have no audio.
I don't.
There you go. Now we hear you. Go ahead, Cindy. Thank you for joining us
I
tonight.
wasn't on mute or anything. I didn't see that. Yes, well, I started personal development when I was with Mentoring for Free, so that was since 2010. And I kept reading Think and Grow Rich. That's all they wanted you to do is keep reading and doing a lesson. It got pretty boring after a while, but then, yeah. And now I really do like the pay me what I'm worth. I like that better because we're reading a new chapter, and we don't keep going over the same thing all the time like we did in Think and Grow Rich, and being asked to write a lesson. And it's once a week. It's an hour of our time, and I like all the different things that we're doing. We're doing this timeline, which I think is a good idea. But it does bring up the past, and I've been told to let go of the past, and it's kind of bringing back the past because we're going through the timeline to see where we've been before. I think we need to see where we were to get to, so that we know where we want to be. We have to get to where we want to be, see where we've been before, and it's bringing up some really good things, but some painful things at the same time,
Yes.
It's been good. It's been a good growing experience, so I like it.
I do too. Thank you, Cindy. That was, and I agree with you. That's this timeline we're working on is really been getting me to dig deep into myself and to pry away all the bad stuff that I've been through, the bad relationships that I contributed to ending or they contributed to ending. I think it's important for everyone out there listening to us tonight, watching us, don't blame yourself. You made a mistake, let it go, move on. There's a lot of important things. Hey, Doug, thanks for joining us. There's a lot of things that you can do to strip away guilt, to strip away doubt, to strip away fear. And you start doing that by forgiving yourself for your mistakes and for the things that you can't control. So, Doug, we have Doug Doherty here. Thank you for joining us tonight, Doug. It's an honor to have you back on the panel. Thank you, sir. And I see Mr. Timothy Henderson's unmuted. He's a new panelist joining us tonight. Welcome, Tim. What would you like to add to the discussion on enhancing lives through personal development? What's your experience been with that, buddy?
Let's see. Well, I started getting into personal development back in high school. I was in a DECA class, which is actually for marketing. So I started getting into it back then. Shortly after that, both my parents were in the Amway business, and I followed suit and made a little bit of profit off of that back in the day. And then once the internet really started taking off, I really didn't actually know there was such a thing as online marketing until about 3 years ago. Um, I had a life situation happen that I decided, well, I'm going to try it and see what happens. And several of the businesses I've been through were complete failures, and several of them have actually been pretty successful. So I've seen quite a bit. I've been through quite a bit as far as doing all sorts of online business, and just glad to be here.
Well, thank you very much, Timothy. Yeah, and you know what the most important aspect of all that is? You're still here and you're still going. So you
Yeah.
obviously have a why that's powerful enough so you keep going no matter what gets in front of you. You know, you're willing to have the determination and develop the persistence to succeed. And that's what being an entrepreneur is all about because you're going to encounter challenges, you're going to encounter roadblocks, and you're going to encounter days where you just don't feel like doing it. But you know what? The more you keep at it, the closer you're going to get to achieving everything that you want. So thank you very much, Timothy. Freddie Gondaril has joined us. Welcome, Freddie. How are you doing tonight?
Hey everybody.
Good to
Nice to be
finally
with you.
meet you, man. I get to finally see you. How's it going, man?
Good man. Just got home and I just got in.
That's
So
cool, bro. That's cool. Tonight we're talking about making a difference, enhancing lives through personal development. So, Freddie, I'm interested to hear what your take is on personal development and how it's helped you.
well, as everybody knows, that mindset is, it's almost everything. I mean, I would say it is everything, because everything starts in your mind. And self-development helped me change my entire life, man. Completely. Um, I used to be, a construction worker. I had some, problems with myself. I had low confidence, low self-esteem, and things like that. And self-development helped me find myself and realize who I am. And in helping myself is helping everybody who I meet and things like that. So helping yourself, working on yourself, self-development is helping others because everyone is you and you are everyone. So that's my take on self-development. You have to do it. You have to work on yourself. It's necessary.
Absolutely. Because I think that the more you work on yourself, the more people that are going to be attracted to you because you're sending out that vibrational energy that you are a better person and that you're a positive person, and that attracts positive people to you, it attracts positive circumstances to you, and it attracts the right people to you. And would you agree with that, Freddie?
Yeah, I mean it goes back to the concept of oneness. Like everyone is, we are all one. So everything is a mirror. We live in a mirror reality. So what that means is that when you work on yourself, it's working on everyone else, and you spread the love and all of the things that you are working on yourself. It automatically transfers to everyone around you. And the moment you let somebody else's energy affect your energy, that's when it's like a test. It's like it's telling you, look, you need to work on yourself. You're letting this person make you angry, or and things like that. So
Yeah.
once you understand that life is truly meaningless, that nothing in your life comes with a built-in meaning. So no matter what happens to you or what people say to you, they might insult you or call you names. You give those words a meaning. It
Yeah.
is up to you whether you want their intention and their meaning to mean something to you. You have
Yes.
control. You know what I'm saying? But we see a lot of people like that, right? Sometimes you might get angry at someone and you call them names, and sometimes they just laugh and they just, it's like it doesn't affect them, and that's actually how you need to be. You know what I'm saying? You
Yes.
don't have to get on other people's levels. That's what we say, right? Don't get on their level, and it is
Yeah.
because you are in control. So
Absolutely.
you know
Absolutely. Mr. Doug Doherty, I see you're unmuted. How are you, my friend? Thanks for coming back. It's been a while.
Hey, good to see you guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
good to see you,
internet
my friend.
connection problems.
So, Doug, what's your take been on how personal development, how it's helped you throughout your life? When did you get started with it?
Boy, that's, that's a
See,
big,
I picked a
that's a
good
loaded
topic.
question.
I picked a good topic this week. I
Yeah,
want to make people think.
yeah, that's a loaded question.
No,
It's funny.
that's a question.
It's funny. I heard Timothy talking about Amway, and I used to lug around one of those big Amway cases about half my size when I was about 6 years old. My folks were in it, so going door to door.
Right on.
That was my first taste of network marketing, I guess.
Okay.
But no, personal development. I mean, I've been reading everything I can get my hands on for years, and uh, you learn a little bit here, a little bit there. It all adds up, but basically, it's just putting into action whatever you need to do to keep moving forward.
Yes, there you
You
go.
sometimes it's a long road too to get something accomplished, but as long as you keep plugging away, sooner or later you're gonna get where you're gonna go, right?
That's right. That's right. Wise words from Doug. Carl Davis, go for it.
I've been being motivated ever since I can remember. It seems like a long time ago, I remember going across a very deep part of the ocean with some friends of mine. Going gets tough, tough get going. And I believe that's a mindset everybody needs to have. Going gets tough, tough gets going. Or tougher gets going, in my way. That's the way I feel. And self-development, I think we all start, in my opinion, as a child. We sit back and listen to the development of what our parents want us to develop into. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but nonetheless, self-development. And you hear these words all the way through your life about when the going gets tough, the tough get going.
Yep.
And that was just somebody's motivational thing. And like Tim and like Doug, I had my first taste of entrepreneurship, I'll call it, because that's what it was, in Amway myself. As I was toting around the board in ESOL and showing the plans and getting people in front of the plans. I did that. But it's all about, I didn't know the development of it at that point. I was listening to an upline. He was telling me what to do. I was listening to motivational speakers that came on the stage every time I went to a seminar. And I learned so much from those many, many people that were on those, seminars. I learned that you step out there or you don't get nowheres. It's like if you go out and you're doing a hard job, you got to keep on going through it. Like I thought I would never be able to do Audacity files. And now I'm getting compliments from Soul Dancer that I'm doing that good. That means he believed in me, just like Marsha Sortino believed in me before I believed in myself. And that is what I think is a major thing when you get people around you that believe you before you even believe yourself. That's the biggest part of it, I believe. And it motivates me the most when I see people like Chris Peters, who started out mentoring for free, who started out being, writing lessons. Next thing you know, he's stepping up to the plate and he's saying, I want to do this call, and did a professional job with it. That's because he developed into that from being around people that taught him very well. And he took action. Action speaks louder than a whole lot of words, because if you have a whole lot of words, it's just a whole lot of words.
That's
But
right.
actions move mountains.
That's right.
And that's my take on personal development is we can move a mountain as long as we're developed to do that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thanks.
Hey, Bill, if you want to unmute and chime in on how personal development's been helping you. You said you've read a lot of Think and Grow Rich and some other books. How's that helped you so far in your endeavors as an entrepreneur, Bill? Uh-oh. Oh, Bill, you're still muted, buddy.
Well, I'm on the bus, so probably a
That's
lot of
okay.
background
That's
noise.
okay. That's okay. I want to hear what you have to say, buddy. Go ahead.
Well, it's continuing work in progress, and according to my wife, I still have a long ways to go. But I keep reading, and I guess one thing that I've tried to start doing now is following Jeff Olson's idea of taking. It's an easy decision to do something, and it's an easy decision not to do something. And it's up the bus every morning and then coming home, and so I've decided to read a good book. Read 10 pages of a day. And so how many books is that over a year? Well, right now I'm reading Zig Ziglar's the art. What is it? The thing about closing. So
Okay.
I'm continuing trying to learn and get over my fear of talking to people and being able to really believe in my product, because sometimes I think I believe in it, but now I've really got to believe in it and start using it, and that type of thing, the internal stuff. And so that's where I'm kind of growing right at the moment, and trying to be the leader that I want to become.
That's very cool, Bill.
That's kind of where I'm at right at the moment.
Wow.
So.
Very cool. Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Go ahead, Cindy. You have something to say? You're muted, dear.
I would question whether the wives are being objective in this case when they say, when they say that you have some ways to go.
Yeah, but the wives are there to be critical, I guess, right? Isn't that why we have women in our lives?
Yep, and she keeps up training me.
Oh, that's great. Oh, right on. Rick and Cheryl, are you guys there?
Yeah, we're here.
How's that been for you, having a wife while you've been doing all this? Has she been supportive for most of your journey, Rick?
Yeah, she's always been real supportive of me. I'm a surfer, and I've been surfing for over 40 years around the world, and I've been with Cheryl for 27 years, and I had other friends, obviously being a surfer, and it's like all the other ones, they like, oh, I want to meet a surfer, right? And then they would be like, you're not going surfing today, are you? I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife's always told me, oh, you need to go surfing, and quit grumbling and go surfing. Are the waves good today? How's the tide? So she's like always like, she knows if I go surfing, I'll come back happy, and it's a personal development thing too. It's exercise, it's working with energy, it's working with water. Yes. But I wanted to just add one more thing. I wanted to say how great that I noticed that Cindy looks.
Yeah, she does look really well, doesn't she?
And she's smiling, and she's happy, and I'm so happy to see her that way. I mean, it really.
Yes.
We were both noticing that you look very nice, Cindy.
I don't know if she's even on there. I ran to the bathroom or something.
I think she turned her camera.
I don't know. Maybe
what, Rick?
Ask Cheryl. I mean, how it's been getting in personal development. Cindy, I wanted to say how great that you.
That's where I was.
Where'd you go, Cindy?
To get food.
She's gotta have her. Yeah, you gotta have your supper. Yeah, it's supper time. I know.
Yeah. It's late for a lot of people, but I tend to eat any time. I don't have a set schedule.
Yeah, me neither. I just eat when I'm hungry. I mean, it really doesn't matter unless you're trying to go to bed at night. Then can be challenging to eat before bed because it keeps you awake and things like that. I know it does me anyway.
Anyone want some French fries? I have a few left over.
Well, if you could pass them through the screen, I'd have some, sure.
Virtual.
That would be so funny, wouldn't it? Would that be so funny, Chris, if you could just pass food through?
You know what? And I don't doubt technology being there in the next 10 years.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Technology. Who knows what could happen?
It's getting ridiculous.
Who knows?
Yeah. Doug, you're unmuted. What's up, man?
Oh, I just said virtual French fries, man. That's the way to go.
Yeah, no
You
kidding,
don't put
eh?
on any weight on that way.
No, you don't, because you could just eat virtually, man. That's going to be crazy when we get to that point, isn't it, guys? I mean, there's something that I was looking at the other day. It was an article I was reading on Google Plus, and it was about televisions that you can roll up like posters.
Oh yeah.
The LED TVs that you can unroll and you can like hang them on the wall, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I can see why they're going that way with televisions, because televisions sit in landfills, and they, that all the stuff that they have to put into making a television is toxic to the environment. LEDs, especially plasmas, because plasma's not good for the earth, and I don't imagine liquid crystal display is good for the soil, for the earth either. So these recyclable, I think these TVs are going to be recyclable, and that's incredible. And if that's what they're going for, then I say I'm all for it. But I mean, imagine when you're done with a TV, you can just take it down and roll it up and put it in the closet. it's just getting it's getting crazy, the things they're coming up with, and it's unbelievable. And another thing I was watching, it was a TED talk on 3D printers. Now these are really cool because they're going to enable medicine to literally reconstruct certain body parts, limbs, things like that, cells, all these kinds of things in the medical field. So I think for the medical field, this technology is definitely essential. And I'm really impressed with what I'm seeing from this type of technological advancements, especially for medical practices, communication, and things like that. But one thing I'm noticing about technology is that it's making people want to stay indoors rather than getting outside and meeting someone belly to belly, because you cannot simulate that experience. You can't simulate the experience of meeting someone face to face with a webcam and a headset. It's not the same, and it never will be the same. And I think that for all entrepreneurs that are watching us here tonight, you still have to get out there and meet people, talk to people. If you can, if they're in your vicinity and they're around your area, you got to get out there and meet those people that are going to be critical. Those people that you meet and those people you make those friendships with are very critical to your success as an entrepreneur, because you can't simulate the energy transfer, the energy synchronicity that you feel with another person through a webcam and a headset. I know that I can't. I know that I don't feel as connected to people as if you were all sitting in the room with me right now and we were having this broadcast. That would be 1,000 times more meaningful for me, because I would get to shake all your hands, hug you all. We'd get to go out and have a beer after, whatever the case may be. But right now we're working with what we have, and that is Google Broadcasts, YouTube, and doing a live on-air broadcast, and we are all going to meet each other one day. That's the goal for me anyway. I want to meet each and every one of you. So anyway, I see Timothy's unmuted. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, let's see. Trying to think where we left off here.
Oh, that's cool, man. It's open discussion, buddy.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. A face-to-face is definitely the easiest way to talk to people, discuss things, and really get to know somebody. Definitely the power of the internet has helped a lot as far as getting more face-to-face time with people when you're trying to talk to them, as far as prospects or friendships or even family. I know I have family, that are, thousands of miles away, and instead of spending money on making calls, now we have the internet, and it amazes me how I can talk to my sister who's miles and miles away and have it real time. It's pretty impressive, and the technology is definitely getting very impressive.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, people have got to be very careful, because they can become consumed by it, And instead of actually going out and interacting with people in real life, I find that I've experienced a lot of people would rather sit in front of their computer. And that's causing more social isolation, I think. And it's important that we have balance between the time you spend on the computer talking to someone and the time you spend actually talking and having real physical relationships with people. I think that both are vitally important, and it's important to remember that don't let the technology replace the human experience, because it'll never happen. I don't
Yeah,
feel
that's
it'll ever
definitely true.
happen.
Exactly.
You know. So,
And
all
same
right.
token too is if you're one of the people that aren't good at meeting new people, or if you're like me out on the road all the time where you can meet people but you really can't take the time to get to know anybody, being able to hook up and make some acquaintances online and then hopefully find somebody in your area to be able to get closer with, opportunity to get the conversation started.
Absolutely.
Being able to do it on here.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yep.
of course, you have to still try to move that into the physical realm.
Oh yeah.
But
Absolutely. And that's the goal of the Entrepreneur Power Hour. I want to meet, like I said, I want to meet all of you guys, and it's going to happen one day. I'm going to fly to wherever each of you are, and we're going to hang out. That's what's going to happen. Kareem and I are going to do that. So, anyway, thanks, Doug. Freddie, you're unmuted. Oh, go ahead, Doug. You weren't done. I'm sorry.
so we should have a set up a once a year get together for all the people to hang
Yes.
out.
Yes, I'm totally for that. I gotta have the money to travel first, though. Unfortunately, you need money to travel. That sucks, doesn't it, guys? You can't just say beam me up, Scotty, and then you're there. But you know what? I wouldn't doubt if we're not that far away from that either. Just beam me to your house, man. Boom. Wow. And it's going to happen one day, because we're already experimenting with that type of technology. Teleportation,
And but
in 30 years, we're going to be sitting here going, teleportation? That's so yesterday, man. Go ahead,
I think
Freddie.
but hey,
I think
Chris,
we ought to, I think we ought to go hang out at Rick's.
Yeah, let's go hang out at Rick's. Yeah, he lives in Hawaii, man. We can go catch waves and I'm just gonna sit on the beach and look at women all day. That's what I'm gonna do when I go to Hawaii. Just meet
Just
women
put your bunch of
all
hammocks
day,
and
man.
tents outside, no problem.
With my cognac and my beer, and cognac in one hand, beer in the other, and I'm just gonna meet women. That's why I want to go to Hawaii. Go ahead, Freddie.
Now you're talking.
I was gonna share an interesting theory
Yeah, man,
talking
do it.
about talking about technology, and you're saying that it's going crazy, right? How
It
fast
is.
technology. So here's the interesting theory that I want to share with you guys is that
Yeah.
imagine, how fast technology is growing. Imagine in 100 years, let's say 200 years for humanity. Where are the video games going to go? Where is the technology going?
Oh,
And the theory that I have is that humanity advanced so fast, so much that they created a game that we are
yes.
living right now.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
people say, a lot of people who are into, quantum mechanics and things like that in science, they say that we might be playing ourselves right now and we don't know.
Mhm.
Because of how the reality is. If everything is pixelated, everything is energy. So imagine a PlayStation 20 or something. How, you know what I'm saying?
Oh
So,
yeah.
and self-development actually made me realize things like that, studying quantum physics, science, and, that might be true. We just don't remember that we are
Yeah.
playing ourselves. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? We don't.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You choose the red pill or the blue pill.
yeah, the Matrix. Yeah.
Well,
Um,
it's slightly different than the Matrix, but it's just like a crazy theory, right? I mean, technology is just going fast, man,
yeah.
right?
It's
I mean,
and
I don't play video games like that, but video games are getting real and more real and real,
oh, I've got an Xbox One, so yeah, I know exactly
and the
what.
graphics.
Oh, it's incredible what they're doing with console gaming nowadays. Even PC gaming is just getting ridiculous. And I remember growing up, I had an Atari 2600, I had a Commodore 64, and I had a Nintendo, okay? And those were different consoles I had over different times. And I still play things like that because I remember when games looked like video games. You know, you didn't play a game on a Nintendo to simulate real life. You know, the graphics were so primitive, but there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty in in it being so primal and so ancient. The technology being so old. You know, that's a charm that I really am starting to see in independent game developers now that are putting games out for the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4. Steam is an independent gaming community on PC, and there's a lot of independent gamers that are maintaining that spirit of keeping that gaming era alive of when games looked like video games.
Hey, you know, that's an interesting point that you brought up right there. Because imagine, like I was saying, in 50 years, 100 years, humanity is gonna get so bored. The games are, like you said, you know, it's too realistic. So
Yeah.
imagine in 100 years, oh, we're bored. What can we do now?
Mm-hmm.
Let's recreate life. Let's play ourselves in this experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's definitely hard to fathom, but I don't see it being as far away as you're saying. I think we could see that in 25 years. I mean, you look at all the advancements that technology is going through right now, like phones. This phone right here, my Nexus 5, is more powerful than two other tower PCs that I currently own that I use for old school gaming and things like that when I play old games. This phone has more power in it than those computers do. That it's just like, really? It's a phone. You know, so it's just getting crazy what they're putting into these mobile devices. And another interesting point is this is another way for the powers that be to keep track of you and to keep you locked in the matrix. And I don't want to get too philosophical here, but this is another way for the global elites to control the minds of the masses
Well,
is through technology.
you know, the way I look at it, if we're in a game, that means you have control.
Yes,
It is up to you to give it up or not.
that's right. You're
You can
absolutely
either
right.
be controlled by some other players, which is, like I was saying, work on
Mhm.
yourself. Don't let others control you.
Mhm.
This all ties up to self-development, right? I mean,
Yes.
you know, work on yourself, take control of yourself, because, you know, if we're in a game, you want to be in control. You want to play yourself in the best way possible,
Mhm.
right? So it's like we're in a movie, a game. You can be your own superhero, right?
Yeah. 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 Wow.
And
Yeah.
personal development is just gaining power-ups, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go, Doug. Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, man. I see a couple people unmuted. You guys want to take turns chiming in? Timmy?
Yeah, I was just gonna go further with the gaming thing. Is you know, they have the I forgot exactly what it's called, the VR systems, the virtual
Oh, the
reality.
Oculus. They got the Oculus Rift now and something else. Yeah.
Yeah. Now with that technology, I'm excited for them to be able to say, I take my personal camera, take a photo shoot of my house and my property, and then set that into a gaming system so I can fight off zombies at my house. And
Yeah,
like, no.
that's not too far away, man.
Yeah, that's probably, I would say, within 5 to 10 years, maybe less.
Yeah.
But that'll be sweet.
Yeah, it would. Go ahead, Carl.
I can't, I can't get over the technology that we have to teach children personal development. That's what really amazes me. I just couldn't even imagine being able to be developed with all the technology that is of today. I mean, when I was going to school, I don't even know if I ever got on the computer, maybe but once all the time I was in school, and that was because I wasn't able to speak proficiently as I do now. I stuttered really bad, like every other word.
Yeah.
But now I've learned to, as slowing down by personal development, and that's what has slowed me down. Mentoring for free, for one, has slowed me down, pay me what I'm worth, slow me down some more, make me think I'm worth something. Never
Yes.
thought I was, but I'm worth something.
Well, of
And
course
now
you
that
do.
personal development is really ringing true
That's
in my
good, Carl.
head. And I also am getting a lot out of one of the persons that popped in here for a minute. She's Janet Laguerre, and she does a morning motivator every morning. And there's
Ah.
15 minutes of meditation, and it really, really gets to me. It really touches me because we pick a certain topic, whether physical or whether to let go or to relationship type stuff, or it's all mind development. Because if you don't develop your mind, I mean, really, what do you have? You have nothing to go out there to talk to the people if you don't know how to talk to the people. And so
Yeah.
I break loose from this techno stuff for a couple of hours and usually get down and socialize with people down that come in the store. Because I can't do this techno all the time because I'll be trapped in that little trap all the time. And that little trap is not where I want to be.
No.
I want to be out there to socialize, to meet people, to know people. And you can't do that just by not being developed. You've got to be
Absolutely.
developed.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Hi, Rick, Cheryl.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
I think. Hey, Josh.
Josh is here! Yay! Cool. What's up, Josh?
Kick in.
We got a full panel here tonight. Go ahead, Rick. You were gonna say something?
We're gonna take off a minute here, but what I wanted to say was that developing the mind is really important, and then through the development of mind, development of the heart.
Absolutely.
La corazón importante.
Yeah.
This part of the human experience, because without it, I mean, like you see these smart dudes, they're all smart and shit.
Yes, they are.
But they don't have any heart, and so like I spent a lot of time like reading and intellectualizing and learning and developing my mind, and then it got to a point where, hey, dude, you have to develop your heart and gain a different perspective on humanity and yourself, and that's what everybody was pointing out to. It's just my way of saying it, but
Yeah, it's
I
true,
appreciate
Rick.
you.
Yeah, we love you, man.
Thanks
for being here tonight. And yeah, you guys are about to go to your there's another class you have to go to right away, correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to open the lines in a few minutes. I just wanted to say thank you for having us.
Oh, anytime.
And
You're welcome every week.
oh, thank you. My little tidbit is just remember that thoughts are things, and whatever we think, that's what makes up our life.
That's right.
It doesn't matter what anybody else says. They have their own thoughts. We just have to remember and keep ours positive.
That's right. So is the lines going to be closed in 15 minutes? Does Soul close the lines after 15 minutes?
I think so.
Yeah.
At the bottom of the hour there.
Because I was told that we were grandfathered in, so I wanted to come and check it out. But this, yeah, we got to keep doing the show here right now. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'll be there tomorrow night for Pay Me What I'm Worth. So that's cool.
Okay, sounds good.
Well, we love you
Talk to
guys. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay. Take care.
Good to see you guys.
Bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Aloha.
Aloha, guys. Hello, Josh. You just joined us. How you doing tonight, buddy? We can't hear you. I think he's muted again. No problem. All right, Doug. How's it going? Oh, Bill, you're home. Hello,
Yes,
Bill.
I'm home.
Oh, good. So, what are some of the thoughts you want to share with us after hearing what we've been discussing?
Well, one of the things it goes back a few minutes in time, but when they were
That's
talking
cool.
about gaming and that type of thing, it had me think about Tron.
Oh, yes.
The movie.
That's a great movie.
Are we being controlled, or are we the controllers?
Yeah.
So, where do we all stand in there? And then it's just a flash right now on, what is it, Men in Black? I think it was either the second or the third third episode,
Yeah.
and they were right at the end, when they opened up those boxes, and we were in one of those boxes as the planet Earth, as opposed to, as we being on the top dog, but we were actually part of the boxes. So I don't know if you remember that one, but it's just
Oh yeah.
a play on, whoa, it just kind of, the Alice in Wonderland effect.
Yes, I agree with you.
And let's see, what is it? The Cheshire Cat on making your decision. You got to figure out where you want to go. If you don't know where you want to go, then any direction is correct.
That's right. That's right. You have to know where you want to go, and you have to be willing to take control of that destiny and not let anybody else influence you. The only people you want influencing you, I would say, are people like us, this mastermind. People that contribute to your goal. People that share your vision. People that believe in the same things you believe in. Those are the people you want to listen to, guys. Not naysayers, not people who come into your life and go, well, that's why you doing that. Why don't you? I've removed so many negative people from my life in the last 5 years that it's astonishing. And I've got a close group of friends, 5 or 6 bros I hang out with, and you know what? And then all of you guys. And then my mom, of course. My mom turns 56 tomorrow, so I'll be celebrating with her either before or after our class tomorrow night. So my mom and I are very close, and she's always been supportive of what I'm doing. She's very proud of me for doing this show, and going to be a published author in 2016 with my brother Kareem Mays. And I am so happy that Kareem and I are taking this to the next level. We are now doing a radio podcast as well, which we interview people on an individual basis. That's kind of the format we're going with the radio show. And we've expanded so much, and I'm so happy that we continue to do this every week. We find new ways to innovate. We find new ways to bring this show to as many people as we can. And the reason we chose to go with the blog talk radio as well is because not everybody is comfortable getting in front of the camera, and we understand that. Not everybody knows how to use Google Broadcast. Not everybody knows how to use YouTube and things like that yet. So we're trying to bring our wisdom and others' wisdom to as many people as we can through as many mediums as we can. And I think that that's very important for any of you out there who want to do a YouTube show, or you want to do you want to bring your message to people. Make sure you're expanding beyond YouTube. And that's all I want to say about that. I see a couple people unmuted, so go ahead, Carl. I see you're unmuted there.
Well, that's the key factor to self-development, is when we mastermind with a whole bunch of people. Because we get their viewpoints. We wouldn't have their viewpoints if we didn't get into this. Like that was greatness what Bill's brought 2 times he's brought in here. I mean, not excluding anybody else, but both times he's brought in great value. And everybody here has brought in such value tonight. It is just incredible. And I just love masterminding with Chris, my bro, Kareem, and just got Timmy on here, and I'm so proud of him being on here, man, because he's brought a lot to it too.
Yes, he has.
I really want to thank everybody because I've gained so much from this.
Me too.
And I always do.
Yep.
I always do, because this is development. This is personal development right here.
That's
as
right.
we mastermind.
Mm-hmm. Well said, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man. So how anybody else? Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, actually, I just need to break in because I have to get out of here. I'm running off my jetpack, so I'm burning up my my data here. So it's the only way I could keep it flowing good. So just want to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
Be back with y'all.
Yes, please be back next week if you can, Doug.
Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully connect up with you guys on off of this thing every now and then again too, just to say hi and
thank you so much.
And other stuff. So
absolutely, Doug. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We love you.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, buddy.
Bye bye.
All right. Anybody else want to chime in on what we've been discussing here? Go ahead. It's open discussion. Go ahead,
All right,
Freddie.
I'll say something. To me, self-development is just taking control, pretty much. And like you were talking something about somebody else trying to control you and things like that, the global elite that people call, to me, it is up to you. It is they try to do whatever they try to do. You can do whatever you want to do. It's all up to you. And self-development is taking full control of your life, of your mind, your body, your heart, your energy, your belief, and that is how you help others too. Because like right here, we are all together. Everyone is working on themselves, and because of that, we all learn and advance a lot faster. So you know,
Absolutely.
it's just taking control of your life. That's what it is. That's what self-development is in every area.
I
Either
agree.
if you're doing something online to build your business, or maybe you want to get healthy, or whatever you want to succeed at, self-development will always help you. So just
That's
take
right.
control.
That's right. I agree with you. I completely agree. Anybody else want to unmute and chime in here? Josh, we haven't heard from you yet. Are you there?
Yeah, I am here. I meant to say this earlier. I'm kind of working on something right now, but I was just going to kind of
That's
be in a
cool.
listening mode.
That's fine, man. Welcome. Thank you for being here again. It's an honor to have you, my friend.
Thanks. I like your energy. I like what you guys got here. I like the program, and
Thank you.
I agree with everything that's been said about personal development. That's the only reason I am where I am today is because I fortunately was turned on to that at a very young age and just took it and ran with it.
Awesome. Very cool. That's what you got to do. You got to run with it, man. You got to latch on to whatever you can that's going to make your life better, and you have to keep going. That's what me and Kareem have been doing. That's what we do with the show. That's what we do with the radio podcast we're doing now. We were also in Pay Me What I'm Worth, our personal development course. That's going to certify us to be professional life coaches. I mean, it's just all uphill, up from here, man. The
It's
sky's the limit.
fantastic. That's
I know.
fantastic.
I know, man. Because we were doing a lot of different things before with network marketing, with MLM, and it just wasn't working for us. I don't want to try and sell health products to people. That's not me. I did it for 3 years, and I'm like, you know what? I got to convince people to buy this. Whereas with being a life coach, only the people who want to develop come to you, and you only find those people. And I think giving people that kind of value where they discover their potential, where they discover what they're capable of, where they discover what life means and helping them find themselves and reaching their truest potential and their greatest potential, that's far more rewarding than saying, hey, this supplement will make you feel better tomorrow.
I like it, man. I like your passion. I can tell that you're passionate about where you're headed, and that
Yes.
means you'll be successful.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. That means a lot to me, buddy. Really does. Because I struggled for years to find out who I was, and I mean, not so much who I was on a musical sense and all that, but more on a sense of who I am as a person in terms of what I wanted to do financially and to become entrepreneurial. I didn't know what I wanted to do because, yes, I have a regular job right now, but it's a delivery job, so I go out early in the morning, I do my deliveries, and I don't have to deal with the public or people that I may not like or people that may not like me, etc., etc., which is one of the risks you run into when you work in retail or you work with the public is there's a lot of stress in that because the whole time, if you're in retail and you're working in a shopping mall or you're working in a wherever, a restaurant or something, there's going to be a lot of different people in those working environments, and they're not all of them are going to be the happiest people. Not all of them are going to be smiling at the end of the day and going, "Hey, I'm at work today." So there's a lot of different variables that you have to deal with when working with the public, and I can't do it. I did it
Yeah.
for years, and I can't do it. I can't be around those pukey negative people, Josh. I can't do it.
Hey, I like where your head's at, man, because it's not cool to be around negative people. But But I've got a book, and if you've already read it, then that's okay. But if you haven't read this book, this is for everybody on this show. I've read this book probably literally 100 times over, and it's called How to Win Friends and Influence People
By Dale Carnegie.
By Dale Carnegie, yeah.
Yes.
That book changed my life, man. And if you haven't read it, anybody who's on this panel, if you haven't read that, that's a first place to start.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, guys. Great recommendation for a book there for you all to read from Josh. It's called How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. You can find that book on Amazon.ca. I think it might be like $7 or $8 for a paperback copy, and if you have a Kindle, it'll be even cheaper than that. So, guys, check out that book. Amazon.com.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Amazon.com. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Yeah, a great book, and I've got a lot of books in my Kindle library. One of my goals for 2016 is to start reading more. I actually don't read enough, but I'm going to show you guys another book that I know Josh will probably love to see that I have in my library, Napoleon Hill's The Law of Success. And this is a huge read.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, this book is about 600 or 550 pages, and I've read about 40 pages. So one of my goals of 2016 is to read more books, and because you can, the more you learn, the more you earn, right, Josh? So the more your knowledge base is, the more you're going to earn. So that's one of my goals that's one of my big goals for 2016 is to read more, so that I can offer more value to people through our show and everything else. Go ahead, Tim. I see you're unmuted.
Yeah, I wanted to suggest the book. The name of the book is The Choice. It's by Og Mandino.
Can you spell that? Og Mandino?
Yeah, it's OG space Mandino.
Okay, and it's called The Choice?
Yep. Yeah, he's an author. He passed away, I don't know exactly, somewhere around 10 years ago, but he was a local author from New Hampshire, which is where I'm from.
Oh,
so
cool.
I started reading him when I first got into Amway, and I was like, wow, he's pretty good. He's got a few other books I can't think of offhand, but that book, it's not very big. It's like maybe an eighth of the size of the book he just put out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead.
Good.
Yeah. This Napoleon. This is Napoleon Hill's Bible right here. I would have to say that this is probably. I mean, Think and Grow Rich isn't even half this size. So I mean, this tells you that there's been, there's a lot more put into this book, and I really, really want to get into this. I'm probably going to read some tonight because it's just sitting here, and I bought it, and I'm like, man, why don't I read more? And it's because I haven't developed the habit of reading. I haven't developed the habit, so I just got to keep doing it, and then it'll become a habit, and then I'll be like, oh, pick up this book, start reading. Oh, Chris, it's time to read. Pick up the book and start reading. That's the essence of all human behavior is habit. We're all creatures of habits, so you want to change a behavior and do something different, start doing it, and then eventually it'll become effortless. So, and that's the goal we're going for with the Entrepreneur Power Hour. This is effortless for me and Kareem. We get on here and it just flows. We love being here. This is our dream, to do a YouTube show and to be as big as some of those other people out there on YouTube. Like, there's a guy that I watch all the time named Angry Joe, and he does video game reviews. And he's an incredible game reviewer, and I mean, he's got over 2 million subscribers, and every video he uploads within a week has like 2 million views, and that's where we want to get with this show. We want to get that popular, and that's how he makes his living now. He makes his entire living off of his show. And of course that's one of our goals is to make money with YouTube. We also have other things we're doing that we're going to be published authors, etc. Have our life coaching and everything else. But to be able to monetize YouTube just for doing this hangout with all of you, that's going to be huge for us. So, and another thing I wanted to announce is for the first 10 permanent panelists. That means people like Bill, Carl, Cindy, Freddie, Josh, Rick, and Cheryl. We're giving away 10 free memberships to our website, Once it's all finished, we got a membership area of our site being developed right now that Kareem's doing. We're going to have access to exclusive content, exclusive training, all that stuff. We're also going to be giving away free copies of our books once they come out. The first one's called Two Adventurers Go Entrepreneurial. The next book we're working on is Two Entrepreneurs and Their Ideas to Help Change the World. So we're also going to be giving away free copies of our books to our first permanent 10 panelists. So the more you guys are here, the more we're going to see that you're serious about being on the show and that you're serious about being a part of this. So we're going to be rewarding people for their effort as much as possible, as well for their contributions and things like that. So go ahead, Freddie. I see you're unmuted, and then we'll go to Timmy.
I just wanted to add something about habits, and you were talking about you gotta develop the habit and to do whatever you want to do. And the thing with habits is that the reason why we have habits is because we have intentions.
Yes.
Your intention is what controls your habit. So knowing that before you read, give yourself an intention, and little by little, it's gonna fulfill you. Every time you read, the reason why you might not, want to read so much or think that it's a habit is because when you read, you're not getting fulfilled. So you don't have an intention behind it. So before you read, set an intention. I'm going to read, and my intention is whatever, right? Yep. Like with this, your intention, right? You and Kareem is to reach people and come together. So there's an intention.
Absolutely.
And there's a powerful intention for you. So all you gotta do is just give yourself a powerful intention, and you're going to see that you're going to do it. I mean, so I just wanted to add that to
That's awesome.
what you were saying.
No, you're absolutely right. Because without intention, there's no desire. Desire equals intention, intention equals habit, and then you cultivate that so that you keep doing what you want to do, and so you keep doing what's essential to help you succeed at whatever you're doing.
Sometimes you gotta break it down, to understand, so what is habit? Comes from intent, desire.
Yeah.
Once you know that, you can take control, right? So
that's right.
It helps.
It does, man. It does. And I see Mr. Ron Tarleton, one of my great friends from Baytown, Texas, who I've known for 4 years, has finally joined us here tonight on the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Ron, it's great to have you here, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Wow, it's great to have you here, man. So we're discussing enhancing lives through personal development, and people have been sharing their experiences on their journey as entrepreneurs and as personal development. So Ron, what has some of your experiences been with reading things like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, and how's personal development been helping you?
Now, Chris, you've known me for 4 years.
Yep.
You sure you want to hear that story?
Yeah, man, we do. We do want to hear it. Of course.
I'm not prepared for that.
Okay. All right, man. Well, I'm just asking you, how personal development's been helping you. What kind of a difference it's made in your life? What kind of perspectives has it given you?
See, we got a woman in the crowd.
That's Cindy Ashline. Yeah, we do have Cindy Ashline. Yeah.
She's Marcia's buddy.
Yes, she's Marcia's friend, and she's our friend too. Yeah, she comes every week. We're trying to get more. We were supposed to have Frances Richardson on here tonight. She's a wonderful lady. She's actually a great friend of Carl Davis, and she has a lot of wonderful insights as well. I think she's 67 or something like that. I can't remember exactly how old she is, but yeah, she's a great friend of ours too. Well, if you just want to listen, Ron, that's fine too, buddy. Get a feel kind of for what goes on here, and Bill, you're sitting there all quiet. You got anything else you want to add, buddy? You're muted, dude. You have to unmute.
There we go. I'm playing with my phone on this one, and so working off my phone, I had to go get my plug in, so I was running out of power.
That's all right,
but
buddy.
I don't have a whole lot more to say. I think I'm going to have to bail here shortly because it's getting to be dinner time for me.
Sure. Well,
but it's just...
That's cool.
And so you guys are mostly on the East Coast, aren't you?
I'm on Central Time, which means it's 7:30 p.m. here. Yes.
Yeah. And for me, it's just everybody's getting home, and so I'm going to have to run. but I really appreciate listening and throwing in my 2 bits every once in a while. So
Well, yeah,
you
you're
guys
welcome here. Remember to
have a
come
good
back,
night,
man.
and
You too.
yeah, well, you'll see me on the bus then next week.
Sure, that's
All
fine.
right?
No problem. Right on, Bill. You have a
Okay.
great night. Thank you for your contributions tonight, and take care of yourself, okay?
Okay, thanks. Yep.
All right, Bill. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, that was awesome. Yeah. Anybody else have anything they'd like to chime in on here? Josh, what about you? I know you're working on something. Got anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, just that working together in these types of groups, even just sharing ideas. I mean, I just got a new business partner recently on a joint venture that we're doing.
Awesome.
And just talking to people, talking out ideas, it just can really increase the value of what you're doing. I mean, this guy, he's quite a bit older than me, and I think I mentioned this before. I like to do business with people who are more successful than I am. But anyway, he just gave me some ideas that in a kind of a mastermind group where we're kind of brainstorming out this new business model, and these ideas were so powerful and so just remarkable to me. And so just by sitting in these types of groups that we're doing here and just talking out ideas, and even business models. I mean, you ought to have one of these titles, one of your episodes titled up as a business model one, right? So everybody talks about their own business models, because a lot of times, I come from a different world, you come from a different world. There's a lot of times where I may know something because I've done business in a certain arena before that could be tremendous value to you or anybody, you know what I mean? Or when you guys may know something that I don't know, and I talk out business models. I mean, ideas can come really fast, and it's a lot of fun. So I think this is great what you're doing. I'll try and be here as often as I can.
Right on, buddy.
Good job.
Thank you so much, Josh. That means a lot, because coming from people like yourself and Freddie Gondarilla here, and Rick and Cheryl, you guys they've all been successful, and then we got Timmy here who's been doing network marketing for years now, and it's great to have people on here who come from these different entrepreneurial backgrounds and who are at different levels of where they're going in life, because that's how we're offering value on this show. We bring people that are at all levels from all different entrepreneurial backgrounds who can contribute to the mastermind, because it's important to me, especially. I'm learning so much from our panelists on how to bring better content. Josh has suggested that I get a background to go behind me that says the Entrepreneur Power Hour on it. And Josh, I'm going to go to Walmart on Friday and I'm going to buy a board and I'm going to do it up, man.
Excellent.
You're absolutely right. I should have something behind me, because yes, I'm doing this in my room, and I want to kind of make a studio, kind of make it look like a studio so that it's more professional looking. You're absolutely right. So I'm going to do that, and I know Kareem's going to do that as well. So we're going to have a background. Now, one thing I was playing with, it's called a screen overlay, and you can do it with the Hangout toolbox. But here's the problem with that. Once I put that overlay in, you can't see the video feed anymore. So I did some YouTube art for the Entrepreneur Power Hour, and I was playing around with YouTube art, and it looks really cool. But the problem is, once I upload that custom overlay, you can't see me talking anymore. There's no more video feed. So I'm like, oh man, so I'm going to have to go and buy a board and then just do the background and then hang it behind me while I'm doing the show. So that's
a good idea.
It is a good idea. And Josh just pointed that out. He's like, you guys are doing an awesome job. May I make a suggestion? I said, yeah, sure. He says, go out and buy yourself a board and do a background. And I'm
You
just
should also
like,
put your name.
Yes.
Or a sheet, one or the other.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Usually I do have my name up here. But because I'm using Opera, some of the features on the Hangouts are not supported by Opera. Google Chrome is just it's loaded with adware right now. Now my computer's not infected, but my browser is. Google Chrome's got ads that pop up randomly, like it'll be loading scripts and things like that, and it's just so prone to things like that. It's not a very secure browser. So I'm using Firefox and Opera. So some of these features of the Hangouts may not be supported by Opera or by Firefox. I find Firefox to be a very fat browser. It's very heavy on your bandwidth. Although it is the most secure browser out there right now, it's also really, it makes the Google Hangouts kind of slow, makes my video feed slow. So right now I am using Opera. So what I'll do is I'll put, when I get the board and hang it behind me, I'll put my name on there as well so people know who I am if I have to continue to use Opera. So, but yeah, that was a great suggestion that Josh gave me about putting the background in, and I really appreciate that because, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me, for sure. Freddie, you were going to chime in there for a second, weren't you?
Oh no, I was just gonna suggest to put your name in there.
Oh yeah, we're like you have yours. Yeah, I can't do that with Opera for some reason. It says this feature is not supported by your browser, which is kind of ridiculous if you think about it. I mean, come on, Opera, what's going on? But Opera's a really good browser for anybody out there who's looking for an alternative to Google Chrome or Firefox. Opera's actually really good. It is pretty secure. Websites do load pretty fluently on it and things like that, so I enjoy using Opera quite a bit. Yeah. I see, anybody else want to chime in there? Timothy, you got anything else you'd like to add? Well, he's muted. He must be busy doing something else, I guess. Where did Cindy go? She's gone too. She's not in front of the computer anymore. Oh, there she is.
Self-development, in my eyes, is when somebody shows you a new thing that you never learned before.
I agree.
Self-development, because I would have never developed into half of what I am if it wasn't for other people. And so I have to give all the credit to the people that I've hung around, been around, and learned.
Yes, absolutely. Me too. I've learned a lot from my friend Ron Tarleton here. I've learned a lot from everybody that comes on the panel. From my friend Kareem Mays, he's younger than me, but I learn a lot from him about, I used to have a real big problem with, certain emotions I was dealing with, and I still do sometimes, especially with the death of my girlfriend that was over in the Philippines. But I'm getting through that. That's been really hard on me though at times, and but Kareem Mays has just been there for me, and we didn't stop doing the show. I wasn't on for a couple of weeks because I didn't think it was appropriate for me to get on the show when I was dealing with that. So, but it's just important to me that we're all here together and that everybody helps everybody. That's what the goal of the show is. And if nobody else has anything to add, then I can say good night. And we will see you next week for the Entrepreneur Power Hour. This is Chris Peters, and tonight we had Carl Davis, Cindy Ashline, Freddie Gondarilla, Josh Bendowski, Kareem Mays, Ron Tarleton, and Timothy Henderson. Oh, and I see Tim's unmuted. You had anything you wanted to add before I close the show?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it appears that pretty much all of us are doing some form of marketing or whatnot, maybe just personal development. We're all going to face adversity just because we all come from different backgrounds and whatnot. But no matter what the case is, just keep moving forward, keep looking up, and things change.
Absolutely.
One day at a time, even,
I agree with you, Tim. It's, and that's why I do this, and me and Kareem do this, because we don't want to work for someone else for the rest of our life. And there's people making money on the internet. You just got to find the right way of doing that. And Josh Bendowski is a successful video. He does professional media with video and stuff like that. And he was talking about how MLM is very difficult because you have to sell products, and most of those companies are product-based, like health products or marketing products and things like that. And from my experience in MLM, it just, like I said before, it wasn't for me. It was very difficult. And I had a lot of customers when I was with one company that didn't really like the idea of paying an auto ship every month.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's one problem you run into, is the auto ship factor of many MLM companies. That's part of their business model because they got to make sure that, the way they explain it is like this. If you want to get paid for commissions, we have to know you're committed to buying product. And to me,
Yeah.
that makes no sense because if you've got customers and people are paying for your products, then they're underneath you. You should be making commissions on that, whether you're buying products from the company or not.
Very
So
much agree there.
yeah, it's a really really iffy thing for me to want to get back into health and wellness, and I don't know if I ever will again. I'm not saying that people can't succeed at it, but it's definitely a lot harder than I thought it would be. And I'm really happy that I'm doing this now and that I'm going to be a professional life coach and a published author. It's a lot more rewarding work for me. It's a lot more fulfilling to make a difference in people's lives. For anybody who watches our YouTube broadcast, this is the kind of value I want to offer people instead of saying, "Oh, here, take this. Try this out. It may make a difference. It may not." That's not fulfilling. That wasn't giving me the sense of fulfillment that I wanted. So. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add before I say goodnight and stop the broadcast?
I was just listening in
Yeah,
because I unfortunately had to be at work. Really good.
I know, Kareem. Yeah, my co-host Kareem Mays had to work late, but you know what? That's why we help each other out. So, this is Chris Peters for the Entrepreneur Power Hour, and we had Carl Davis, Cindy Ashline, Freddie Gondarilla, Josh Bendowski, Kareem Mays, Ron Tarleton, Bill, I can't remember Bill's last name. What's Bill's last name, Kareem?
Looks like Maybauer.
Maybauer. Maybe, yeah, we had Bill Maybauer here tonight, and we had Rick and Cheryl Reiser, and this is Chris Peters for the Entrepreneur Power Hour, and we will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.